Good afternoon, good evening, everyone out there in the digital world. Excited to bring you another week of action here in the Premier League. Week 3, Division 9 matchup between SVS and Zulu Squad Recon. Today we're going to be fighting over Omaha Beach with the midpoint of West Vierville. So this is going to be pretty exciting. With everything that this point entails, we're looking for a lot of good action, a lot of good fighting, a lot of good just overall gameplay between these two, and so I'm very much excited to be able to bring it to you. I'm going to be your host today, Mr. Night Falcon, 17, proud member of the 22nd 4ID clan. But I've been doing this TPL streaming here for just a little bit, but we are not we're not a 30 versus 49, silly me. And when it comes to that, we are 30 versus 30. Just a little bit of a mix up there on my side. But 30 versus 30 on this matchup today. No team's going to have that extra large advantage. Let's go ahead and get that updated with the magic wave of the finger. Updated. All right. So for today, we're going to be dealing with some rules here between these two. So just a quick touch base on what those rules are. All right. So just like any other TPL match, one man arty. That means one man only, or woman. One team member only from each team is allowed to be on the artillery gun. That means no loaders, no additional spotters. If they, well, they could if they wanted, as long as they stay off the gun. But when it comes to getting on one of the 3 artillery guns, it is one man only. They can only stay on that one gun the entire time. Can't have anybody load for them. Second is going to be indestructible nodes. These, this is done to help make sure that there is as much of a competitive advantage for both teams as possible. Teams will get those nodes up at the start of the match, and then ideally they're going to stay up the entire time. There are some issues that can possibly come up, but we'll address that if that ever ends up coming up. But ideally we want those nodes to be up and stay up so that both teams generate resources at the same speed, and then it's up to each team's commander on how they use those or convert those. Third rule that we have for today, Panther bans. So the Axis forces are not going to be able to use the Panther. Heaviest tank they'll be able to use is the Tiger tank, and so Tigers and 76s will be clashing on the battlefield today. Looking forward to that for both teams. Let's go ahead. We're going to take a look and do a little bit of history diving here on the teams that we're looking at today. So SVS coming into this match 0-2, looking to try to right the ship a little bit, facing 2 rough matches in their first goes. But they definitely want to come in, try to get that goose egg off in the win column. Zulu Squad Recon, on the other hand, is 1-1, having won 1 match and having lost 1 match. So both teams looking to get another win in the column today as they chase both the SCC and ITHL that are leading out the pack right now. So definitely some exciting things going on in Division 9. And that's one of the things I love about broadcasting some of these 30 versus 30 matches is everybody's still in play. And when you get to the 49, some of these top Division 1, 2s, gets a little boring because people play sideline to sideline. But in these, there's plenty of open space. People move around. You can get wide flanks. You can do a lot of fun things. And so watching these 30 versus 30s or casting and playing in these 30 versus 30s is a whole lot of fun. So I hope to be able to capture that today for you. Let's look over a little bit of the head-to-head stats going between these two teams over the course of the past 2 weeks. Now, these are going to be average match statistics for kills and other items. So records so far, like I was saying, SVS 0-2, ZSR is coming in 1-1. Total points captured, SVS was able to capture a midpoint, but unfortunately since that time have not been able to capture another point. So we're going to see if they can get another point captured in there to try to help them out. Zulu Squad Recon able to get a 5-0 in one of their matches, as well as an additional point capture. And so they definitely have the ability to move on points and be able to get that 5-0. Total kills, 493.5 to 453. Now, the reason why I put a little caveat in on ZSR side is one of those matches did not go all the way through to the full 90 minutes. Unlike SVS, it's played both 90-minute matches. ZSR was able to 5-0 and get a match in a little bit lower than the 90 minutes. So that kind of impacts their total kills. Not able to get as many kills on there. But relatively, these teams are coming into these matches with the average amount of kills being about the same with the previous 2 matches. Artillery, though, the advantage is going to ZSR from that perspective to be able to have the added benefit there. And hang on, I popped accidentally hit my Steam Deck here real fast before we talk about armor kills. Now, armor kills definitely coming in the favor of SVS. SVS coming in with 70 armor kills averaging versus ZSR's 30 over the past 2 matches. So definitely something to keep an eye on, as the point of West Vierville is going to be surrounded by a lot of large open fields. And so that's where this is where these armored tanks are going to be able to come in big for these respective teams. So with that, today we're waiting for all the teams to slowly get into the point here. Looks like we're good to go with some of the teams. Okay. Okay, looks like we are just about ready for both teams to go ahead and mention that they are good to go. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump up into the points here and talk a little bit about what we can expect from both these teams. So as I was mentioning earlier, point right here is West Vierville. It's going to be up here at the top of the map. Centered around these houses, this is going to be where the hard cap area is for both these teams. And so we look to have a little bit of a cap advantage here to the Axis side, because they do not have to get up any additional hills or anything like that in order to get into their point. Allies, unfortunately, will have to contend with some of these hills. Most of these trails, though, you can kind of get up on top of before the wall drops. So that should allow them to be able to get some help from there, but ultimately they are kind of restricted. So we'll look to see if ZSR will be able to go ahead and take advantage of those allied locations that they will kind of be funneled out of when it comes to those opening snipes, if they have planned any. With that, we have our flip. So let's go ahead. We're going to wait and make our own squad here. Okay, just wait for everybody to get in. All right. Make sure everybody builds up the squads they need. So we put ourselves all the way at the bottom. All right. And with that, we'll go prone right here, open up our admin cam, and we will get moving here. All right. So as I was mentioning before, West Vierville, Axis forces really have all of these fields right here that they can kind of get up and into. So allies, once they get up, anything here in the E and F column really is going to be a lot of large open fields. The Axis do have the advantage of a hedgerow that runs right along this backside right here along my cursor. But aside from that and some wheat fields down here, allies have some wheat fields here, wheat fields over here. The advantage is definitely going to go to the Axis forces and being able to capture this. Now, the allied side does have the hard cap more centered on their location here. So that will help them as they'll be able to get bodies in the hard cap sector first. So really, this point is completely up for grabs. Whatever team is able to get there first, it'll be quite interesting to see what kind of things happen. So with that, we'll sit back here, kind of just see how things are rolling out here. So we got one supply truck coming in for the Axis forces, got a Lux, and 2 transport trucks going map edge. It looks like they're going to be pulling out another recon tank as well as their medium tank. So they've got a 3 tank opener to get us started. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can see what's going on here for the allies. So the allies running some guys, transport truck up here to the north. Major Nut, touch me. Sergeant Panzer Farts, there's a fun one. It's always fun to see what these people come up with for their names. Hot Dog 7, another member of the TPL stream team. Happy to have him here joining with us. Playing this time, not so much actually casting, but playing. So we'll keep an eye on him, see how that goes today. But as far as tanks go, not seeing... I see the Stuart tank here on the north. But as far as that goes, I wasn't seeing the medium tank here yet. So we'll keep an eye out for that, see if we're able to catch that coming in. But off the rip, we got supplies coming in for both of the respective teams here. Marks coming out for move marks, so we can see SVS marking their intended crash points here. Good team organization and discipline here. We'll go ahead and watch these trucks as they come in here. See if anybody's got any snipes that will be coming in. No initial snipes from the top Lux. Okay, so there's the medium tank. We see it right there coming in for the Allies. Okay, no rockets buzzing over quite yet. But we are starting to see both teams come on into the point here. SVS dropping out a couple guys at the backside. Zulu squad also doing the same. Arty guns starting to pop off here for the SVS. You can hear them in the distance. SVS crashes majority of guys right into the backside of the building as the first Arty shell lands for SVS over the top of some unsuspecting raspberries, little cherries, taking out cherries. So first kills of the game here going to SVS off the artillery guns. Just badgering in that church. Taking out the transport truck as more and more SVS crew members dive down into the shed here, watching that southern wall here, but are leaving the gate open. So Moth up here with his MG definitely covering that pretty tightly here. Gun battles being won by SVS in the north. So SVS coming in strong here, but cap pressure teetering back and forth between both teams here at the very start. Copperfield has gotten into the egg house there, the hen house, but was eliminated by the majority of guys that look like SVS is running with the strategy of getting as many bodies into the hard cap as possible. And by doing so, they've got him up second floor of this building to keep him protected from Arty. So there's an interesting strategy going in here for SVS, trying to get as in and just secure that point as quickly as possible. Super taking out Bear. Super getting across the wall road there is taken out by Pritch. So an interesting strategy from SVS to have as many bodies into the hard cap as possible, as they're using that second floor to be protected. One thing that I found is very interesting as I've gone and streamed these matches is just the ingenuity that goes into some of these plannings by some of these teams to just keep bodies in that hard cap sector as they try to gain that open sector, that opening push. Scratch SVS down here by the church, trying to dodge the Arty shells, running around, running by Major Tip. Major Tip hearing him though, looking to see what angle he can get as the rest of his bodies are exploded. Rest of his buddies are exploded in the back. Major Tip Toucher though, coming around the south side is Scratch. Unable to locate him, Major takes him out. Okay, so we can see our little congregation here in the top, the concentration of SVS players here in the top of our little barn here on this other side, still alive, taking out guys as they come in, as Arty continues to pound the western side of this hard cap. Go ahead and take a look, see how we're dealing. So Mansion Complex, this is somewhere that I like to call out as well during the course of these matches. So for today's purposes, we're going to call this Mansion Complex. So SVS looks like they're getting a good amount of people here down into Mansion Complex, and now we're nearing 50% of the way capped onto point. So we got the initial Panzer IV and the medium Sherman going at it. Both are flaming big heavies, trading blows here off the bat. Cap pressure still going in for SVS as the medium Sherman is taken out. Great shot, great teamwork for both teams to be able to get some eyes on that. And most likely that had to have been a rocket or some type of shot here by a Panzerfaust. So great work from whoever was able to take that medium out, helping just give support to the Panzer IV that was back repairing. Okay, cap pressure going back in the way of ZSR here. All right, so we got one AT gun here watching that road here. Sergeant Henny and General Gooner doing everything they can to get an eye on that road. Make sure no armor pushes up that way. And we see the ghost rounds being loaded by General Gooner. From our perspective, he is using his telepathy powers to get that into the gun. So little did I know they brought out the special units, but the caster curse comes in and takes them out. Telepathy is not enough to block out the arty shell as it comes in. Death from above. Go ahead and pan up here to the northern side as ZSR appears to have gained full control over this northern side. Mr. Plausible leading his men to the charge here as they are forced to reset back to the garrison back here on the northern side for SVS. Now, this is going to be deadly for SVS as they now have to contend with a giant open field in order to get people back as Qonzer is already hemmed up with his MG, looking to try to get angles at him. Let's see if Qonzer is going to open up with the big cheese gun. Qonzer letting it loose. This cap pressure still 10 minutes, about 7 minutes in, we're still waiting on the first initial cap. SVS still holding about halfway capped here, but ZSR continues to push right on in. And more bodies are flooding into the hard cap here for ZSR, and they continue to try to push it back in their way, while we still have our little group of hiders up here in the top floor, just being as safe as they can be. I wait for the moment that the grenade is able to get in and take these guys out, but the windows are very slotted here. They can't get people up. Only way you can get a grenade in probably be through this window or bum rushing multiple people into there at once and hoping one of them is able to get up and in. So a very good way to get consistent pressure here in the hard cap, as we can see that all of those bodies are still right there in the hard cap for SVS. As the explosions continue to come down into point here, let's go ahead and get a more of a collective overview here of what the situation is developing into. As we're zooming out here, so SVS still controlling kind of that middle portion of the hard cap with all their bodies that they've got on the top of that shed. And they were able to get bodies over the north side and are contesting back into the houses there. However, ZSR is coming in from Mansion Complex, able to eliminate the few people that were down there for SVS. And so from this perspective, we can see a lot of red cherries out here for ZSR, all kind of around the outside of that point. So the only way SVS is continuing to still gain cap progress is really coming in through the help of their little bunker up there in the top of the shed. So good using that to their advantage. As more and more shots are coming onto the Panzer IV here from AT guns from the southern side here. High voltage looking to get rocket on him. Hitting front armor though, not going to do too much as the tank is well aware enough to turn around and know that that allied bazooka is not able to do anything to their front armor. But they are exposing themselves up to... Oh, but the AT gun is destroyed. So they do not have to worry so much about that as we are now nearing 3/4 of the way capped here for SVS. And just like this match, as we're nearing 10 minutes capped into the point here, 10 minutes into the match, our total kills are pretty much dead equal for both teams and right at 73. So this is the first week we've been able to have our scoreboards work appropriately. And so that is a major fun thing for us to be able to have. Allows us to keep track of things in real time. As a bombing run comes in here for ZSR, it looks like. Trying to eliminate that tank, which it looks like it did not. So unfortunately for them, that tank is still going to stay up. And that initial cap does end up going to SVS. So SVS, in the use of their little bunker tactic here in the middle of hard cap, pays off for them. And then they now see themselves sitting pretty here in the middle hard cap here. All right, so we're going to zoom out here. Let's get a look over how that initial garrison network is looking for SVS. So we've got 3 different garrisons up here, D3, D4, D5, controlling a lot of the main thoroughfares here for SVS to continue to get bodies back into the point. One garrison has gone up here down in Mansion Complex for SVS as this OPs start to light up here on the southern side. So as ZSR looks to recapture this point, a couple of main areas they're going to want to focus on. Mansion Complex to the south. They could look to get bodies as far south as Vierville-sur-Mer, the church down here. But they'll want to focus on there. They'll also want to focus on Mansion Complex, and then trying to keep flooding bodies up here into the north. Now, if SVS is able to push them out of the north, it's going to make them be forced to come across this giant open field here, which would be very difficult for ZSR. So, SVS definitely looking to try to gain full sector control over that portion as cap progress does start to come in for ZSR as the first 76 has come up from the bottom of the beach. And has his sights dead set on this Panzer IV here. Let's take a look and see what this tank crew is able to get. Taking one shot at the Panzer IV here, but not able to get him out quite yet. As it continues to hit the front wall, that Panzer IV is safe for the moment as he looks to continue to just get rounds onto that 76 in the desperation hope. But General Gunner coming up with the satchel. Popping it down, but Mario SVS sees him, gets it, but the satchel is down. So will Mario be able to get this satchel off of his tank? Please stay tuned. See if any of his teammates are able to make a run up for it. As Mario is able to take that out for SVS, saving his middle Panzer IV. So good work on Mario to be aware of that situation there, helping keep that tank up on point as now it is starting to get hit. It looks like 76 got a turn shot on him, but wasn't able to get him all the way taken out. Now nearing just about 2/3 as 76 takes out that Panzer IV. Nearing 2/3 of the way capped here for ZSR on the midpoint. All right. SVS still with their little helpers down there in the top of the shed. As Scrans takes out Bastille. Couldn't quite catch his name behind all the wall there, so I apologize for that. Z is eliminated as well, as it looks like the southern portion has gone completely to ZSR. But cap pressure is still maintaining strong as reinforce is down for SVS. So the little bodies, all those bodies in there, not only impacting for the cap, but also helping out with the reinforce, as they have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 8 people in the hard cap. So reinforce definitely giving additional help to them, as cap progress going back to 50% for ZSR. Ooh, Stewart unfortunately taking out his own guy from that backside. Major Goss and Provider 1 out, double repping this tank as the gunner stays right down the middle here. Ross trying to make sure no other surprises come up their way. Let's go ahead, we're going to zoom on up here to the northern section as that Stewart is still holding into the northern portion of that hard cap. Flash SVS got behind these guys up here in the right, these ZSR guys. So Garrison though for SVS, they do know, it sounds like Mr. Plausible does know that it's there, so lobbing grenades up over the top, trying to hope to catch a spawn in some way. But he is close enough now that he is able to lock that out, but is eliminated by Gatlo. Gatlo reopening that garrison as Pritch comes around and takes him out. Bumhead though with the rockets, him and Pritch really need to focus on getting this garrison out here that they have to know is there. So they're either working to try to clear it or maybe spawn camp it a little bit. But Pritch is finally getting up to take that garrison out. So total control now for the north, going to ZSR. Its cap progress is ticking back in their favor. Flash SVS, the lone one man on the eastern side, or sorry, yeah, eastern side of that road. As unfortunately the reinforce has gone away, and SVS does not have enough bodies here in the middle hard cap to be able to get progress back in their way. DSR ticking away now, nearing about 85-90% of the way captured onto West Vierville. All right, and with that, ZSR able to get back the midpoint capture here. Now in full control of the eastern side of this road here. And immediately having cap pressure on the backside. ZSR looks like a couple bodies back here. Rosebud and Qonzer back here already getting cap pressure. Now, closest garrisons that they have here for SVS are going to be in D3 and up in B3. So for both there's no hard point garrison, as Qonzer is the only man in the area. Look and try to just find whatever spawns he can. Cap pressure coming back in here, still at about 10-15% here for ZSR, but this is really going to force SVS to get bodies back as garrison spawn comes off on the eastern garrison here, with 4 people looking to try to get back and help out where they can. So enough bodies back, not enough bodies back, as ZSR is still capturing the point here. As Qonzer and Rosebud are now contested on the point. Rosebud trying to get into the hard cap to try to help continue cap progress here for ZSR. Gomez and Rosie squaring off. Gomez getting the first shots here, but Rosie staying alive against the Thompson, or sorry, the MP40. Rosie and Gomez. Gomez coming up. Qonzer in the back. Rosie able to stay alive. Cap progress still coming in, though, for SVS as they work to defend it. Scrans down here on the southern side here. It looks like they may have gotten a garrison up or simply an OP here. Unsure. But bodies still flooding forward for ZSR. As cap progress is now going back to level control here for the Axis forces. All right, so here we are. First summary of the match. 1 hour and 9 minutes remaining here. So we've already had 2-point captures. SVS coming out winning the initial cap over ZSR. But ZSR able to kind of body their way back into the point here and have taken the point back from SVS, as it looks like the majority of SVS's cap pressure that was sitting in this top of this shed has been eliminated. Basti being the only one there, as now all of West Vierville appears to be in very strong control of ZSR. So kind of looking over the stats so far, total kills at this point are very even between the two teams, looking at 154, 153 respectively. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us today. Again, I'm Night Falcon here, broadcasting from the SVS side here for this Division 9 matchup. There is also a caster, Sassy Anna, here for the Allied side, so I invite you to go ahead and check her out if you'd like to see both of them up. Maybe one day we'll be able to get side-to-side streams up, but for today, we are looking at it just from the SVS side. So if you want both perspectives there, I invite you to go ahead and look over there at Sassy Anna's stream so you can kind of get the full look at how this match is playing out here. But I would greatly appreciate it if you could take a quick second, give this stream a like, and give us a subscribe as well here at Falcon Studios. We very much appreciate that as we work to try to become bigger into the Hell Let Loose community. My initial thoughts and feelings towards joining the TPL stream team was that I could look to help out with some of these lower Division 8 and 9 matchups, as Major Tip Toucher is able to get Z off of that garrison and is looking to take it out. So big plays, that's going to open up the southern portion here for ZSR to go ahead and continue flooding bodies back into rear battery. So rear battery, SVS kind of fully on the defensive here, as now both of their forward garrisons have been eliminated. The only garrison they have is back here in B3, so they will definitely be needing to try to get people into battery to get up a garrisons to help as ZSR continues to flood bodies here in the southern portion. But as I was just mentioning, yeah, trying to get into the streaming world here Though every like, every subscribe is helpful because it helps us get more and more features that we can then turn around and help you guys out and add to the quality of the stream. So appreciate you guys all tuning in and joining in, even if it's in the future. To all you future people out there, I very much would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you can. And continue just to give as much of this wonderful Hell Let Loose community, give them as much screen time as possible, because everybody likes to see themselves when it comes to these matches. So appreciate everybody that comes and joins out, all the prep that goes into these matches, and for the people that come around and watch them after. Thank you to everybody involved. So the battle over the hedge here, Mayo now the only man available here up on this northern side as he continues to take out more and more people. So taking out Nitro. Bumhead trying to peek the corner here. Mayo getting some reinforcements as Mayo takes out another. And Mr. Plausible, though, holding his portion here on the northern section. So SVS doing well to hold this northern portion and preventing people from flooding, preventing his ZCR from flooding more and more bodies down into this northern portion of the cap. Moth, though, able to get around, was able to take him out, and looks like he is going to take out that OP. Wastes the 3 seconds. No spawns on it. So medium tank here to the north for ZSR. Going to continue just to provide pressure now that it appears that ZSR is going to go ahead and get through that wall break here and try to get into the northern portion of the cap point here. So we do see a garrison spawn here for SVS. So they were able to get another garrison up, but still missing anything here in the hard cap sector. All right, so more and more bodies starting to flood into the point here for ZSR as the garrison that I was just talking about, just mentioning, is taken out. So now SVS is left with only one garrison all the way in the very back here with some OPs. So if OPs start falling here, as it very well looks like they might, because no pressure is kind of coming up from that southern flank here. Major Tip Toucher getting in, trying to clear more and more of these OPs. Johnny SVS, though, taken out by Rosie Butt. Cap pressure coming back in for ZSR. Hip Toucher just hiding in the corner, waiting for people to come to him. But Maverick going out on his own, able to take him out. Good work from Maverick to clear the sheds as he works to defend that. Cap pressure coming back in for SVS. So one thing now, SVS, knowing that these little pushes are coming in, need to continue to try to shore up and get more and more bodies here. Looks like they did remove the garrison on the back line, so they could get one up, but the garrison immediately goes down. So now no garrisons are up in the area of cap here for SVS, leaving ZSR very open to be able to come and take those out as more and more OPs are falling here. A Squad, the only OP in anywhere near the hard cap right now. C Squad close as well, but more and more people for ZSR are coming into the point here. Gomez and Viho just trying to do what they can to stem the tide of red cherries into their hard cap. But Gomez is eliminated. Viho now the only man here on hard cap. Let's hope that the Caster's Curse does not come into a play for Viho as he works just to provide body pressure here. Bear searching around, though. Probably smelling him as he prepares to try to launch his attack. But Viho definitely hearing him on the backside. As we are nearing halfway capped here for ZSR here. Bear coming down. Looking to bear down. But Viho able to take Bear out. Bear out, eliminated by Viho. Still the only man in the hard cap for SVS. Still going to need to drop some more bodies here, unfortunately, for SVS to continue trying to defend this point as we are nearing 2/3 of the way capped here for ZSR. As Commander Yarko just trying to do everything he can with his little supply truck back here. He's able to get away. A small arms fire does start to come in here. We see the middle point here, West Vierville, starting to be contested here for SVS. But, unfortunately, they're nearing 90% back capped on their defensive point. Vio still alive as Scrans comes back in. Help a little bit from Johnny here. Scrans looking to try to get back up here in the middle, try to eliminate these other two. And with that, we are now sitting at a 4-1 lead for ZSR. So we are moving along here quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look now. Kind of a desperate straits here for SVS as they are left with one garrison to the south. Supply drop is coming in from Commander Jericho, though. Jericho. As they work to try to establish defensive pressure here. Now, we have not yet seen an airhead here from ZSR, so it'll be interesting to see if we do hear, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Airhead coming down for ZSR here, all the way in the back line. So we're going to kind of get behind it here and see if anybody notices that this airhead is being called into place. No initial looks for ZSR here to be able to turn around here, or not from ZSR. Okay, we do have it getting marked out in command chat, so Irate looks like he is going to be the closest squad lead to be able to get that out. So we are now T-minus 30 seconds waiting for a spawn potentially to happen on this airhead. We're going to hold tight here, right here, ladies and gentlemen, see if something is able to come through for the Allied side, as a garrison now has gone up on Beaumont Road here for SVS. But SVS pushing as many bodies up into the point as they can to try to defend it. This garrison, or this airhead, looks like it will be able to get a spawn wave up, as Irate unable to locate it here right at the moment. So it looks like the Tiger Tank for ZSR was eliminated as this, not the Tiger Tank, sorry, the 76 for ZSR was eliminated as garrison spawn waves come off of the airhead. Irate, though, eliminated by Qonzer, leaving Mr. Plausible. So being an officer off of that airhead is already going to start causing problems, as we can see that the point is starting to be contested here for ZSR. Looks like spawn waves coming off for SVS here, though, as ZSR just continues to flood more and more bodies here into the point. Cop of Phil looking to try to follow this Tiger Tank here. Most likely trying to get some type of satchel on it, as he does have the satchel class here for the AT class. Qonzer with a great rocket, though, from the backside, as this Tiger just tries to run for its life. Friendly Viho able to take out Copperfield, though. Trying to get a feel of that tank. Unfortunately, the tank was aware enough to be able to make sure that was not allowed. It is a no-touch zone, as a great rocket, though, comes in for ZSR. Unfortunately, it ricochets, but still a great rocket nonetheless. Pritch coming in, assault class in hand. Go ahead and watch him as he comes into the point here. Spets now the only person here. Mayo coming around the corner. Who's he going to see? Who's going to see Pritch first? Oh, both of them split. And Pritch is going to go right down the middle, like I hope my fantasy football kicker does today, popping as many points through those uprights as possible. But Mayo, hearing those shots, is able to eliminate Pritch. General Gooner being a little gooner up here in the north. Able to get in the 3-story here with little SVS acknowledgement. So Gooner just trying to provide more and more cap pressure here for the Allied forces as they continue to try to flood bodies up into the point. Irate taking out, or Gooner taking out Irate and taking out Flash, but Z able to finally get General Gooner out of there, thereby clearing all of middle hard cap here as Hot Dog 7 comes right down the middle of that road. Roger, Hot Dog 7. Let's see if he can get some Willie Peters in his direction. We're going to zoom in here on our fellow caster and try to get a look at his first-person perspective as he pushes in the point. Elias not able to get bodies on him, so Hot Dog still running around here like a madman in the hard cap. Gaining control of the 3-story here. Hot Dog taking out Johnny. Now in full control of the hard cap sector here, as we do see middle point, or battery is starting to get cap pressure for SVS, as it looks like they have a garrison up here in the point. So let's go ahead. We're going to zoom on out of here. Don't want filters. No filters. No filters. Oh, I'm yours. All right, here we go. Whoop-a-boo. All right. Get our drone eye view here. So let's see what SVS has been able to do here on the backside as this garrison all the way on the far eastern side is flooding bodies into the hard cap here. So SVS appears to be all in kind of on this push as they start to have cap pressure falling back on their final point here. So we are in ourselves a little bit of a cap race as that push right here for SVS is quickly eliminated here from ZSR as they turn and face bodies back to the point. Meanwhile, on SVS's defensive point, hard cap is going red here. So Hot Dog 7 right by the garrison though. Not able to lock it out. Looks like his buddy was here in the back here that was locking out. Try to readjust ourselves here. Hot Dog 7 still alive in that top portion here. Alright, so now we've gained full control back over our admin camera. As it looks like this airhead still very well could be up for ZSR here in the back. Most likely it's been through all of its spawn waves, but a garrison has been able to go up here. So SVS unable to get this garrison, but they do have it marked. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to continue getting bodies up into there. As a bombing run comes through for the Allied side and eliminates the rest of that push here. So they have now been able to take out that garrison for SVS, leaving Super SVS back here by himself. So now we have a little bit of a reset here on everybody's pressure. But that was able to help out SVS be able to gain control back over this northern portion. Still have not been able to get that garrison out of the way here for SVS, for CSR, but SVS being able to reestablish a garrison here on the eastern wall. So we're looking for these guys to try to turn around and get some backfill pressure to eliminate these guys behind us. No doubt Sergeant Jericho is definitely trying to yell at his guys to get around, try to get these bodies cleared out so they can gain full control back over their defensive point. But it looks like Flash SVS and the rest of his crew continue to push right back up into that point. Leaving this garrison completely open here for ZSR to continue spawning on. So General Gunner back into his 3-story hiding place here. Just owning the 3-story as Bruce SVS sends up a flare. Let's see what kind of items show up on that flare. So with that, nobody showing up on the flare. With all of the ZSR players being out of the area or just outside of where that flare could have gone up. Gunner, though, still making the garrison warm, so they're trying to figure out where in the world he is as Johnny's able to turn around and get Gunner with a headshot. Eliminate him immediately. Mr. Plausible and Sergeant Henny coming in from the northern side off that garrison. So we are starting to see some SVS members come to the backside here and try to get some pressure onto that garrison that we have floated in the back, but so far not able to do it. Now artillery for the Allies is starting to come into the point here, so that could be pretty hurtful here for SVS. As now SVS in the north is starting to get really sandwiched between both the garrison they have behind them and the garrisons that the Allies have here for ZSR in the eastern side, very closer to rear battery. So slowly but surely they're just kind of gonna get pinched out, kind of like a tube of toothpaste. Eventually these tides are going to come together and own this northern portion and just slowly push out SVS as Qonzer, Copperfield crew was able to take out Copperfield. Qonzer coming up on crew here. Crew able to get behind him, does not. Qonzer not noticing crew, but crew. Oh, Qonzer going for the garrison though. Qonzer able to take out crew. Sorry there, as our little sensitivity kind of spiked there for a second as we were zooming in on that action, but she's able to get that garrison out to the north. So just like I was just mentioning, that tube of toothpaste is starting to collapse here for SVS now. They have lost that garrison in the north. They have a fallback garrison in the far HQ, so that if cap pressure does start coming in for ZSR, they'll still be able to have a spawn point there. But right now, ZSR slowly just surrounding SVS. So we see people coming in from the north, people coming in from the eastern side, and we can see Rosebud and Scrans here on the backside trying to come up the southern portion here. Now another Tiger tank for the Axis forces coming out here, followed by medium Panzer IV. Go ahead and take a look at the armor situation here for what it's looking for ZSR. Last time we saw the 76 was up in the north. Looks like still being marked up here to the north. All the way in the back, though, we do have a recon tank for SVS that has gone behind here as Major Nuts trying to survey the battlefield. Let's give our tankers a little bit of love here and see if they're able to notice as Major Nuts is able to go down. Let's see if our little recon SVS recon will be able to get out of there as we see looks like 76 here from the north. Recon noticing the garrison now, able to eliminate that. So back pressure here for SVS is going to start coming in. But with that, cap pressure coming in for ZSR. Bodies spawned on point for SVS though. Enough to start tilting it back in his favor here. But Private Donkey and his squad pushing up the main road, knowing that they do not have any bodies to the north here, knowing they are safe. Hopefully going to continue getting pressure here, as this tank has not been marked for quite a moment here for the SVS crew. But cap pressure coming in on battery here for SVS. So we are teetering on both points here as SVS continues to get body pressure here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in cap race for the fifth point here as ZSR starts to flood bodies into the northern portion here. Both points go contested. Both points, ZSR continuing forward on their defensive side. ZSR able to defend on there. So right now, ZSR in the lead of this cap point, these cap races here. Now going back in favor of SVS. So both sides are starting to teeter. We do see an airhead coming in for SVS here on the northern side. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold out long enough to get a spawn wave off of it. As they will try to most likely flood any bodies that they have here in the southern portion up into rear battery. As we do get a good pressure here as we have a double stacked tank. So the Tiger tank and the Panzer IV were able to get around the southern side here. As it looks like SVS is starting to get more and more cap pressure here on the southern side. But unfortunately, Panzer IV is eliminated most likely by Scrans' Satchel, who was able to get up behind him. However, that was the lighter tank of the two, as the Tiger tank is still pushing down into the hard cap here for SVS. So SVS trying to mount a charge here coming in from the southern side as the airhead is now landed unknown by ZSR. SVS going to start being able to get some bodies here very quickly. Oh, and it is eliminated. So 76 here for ZSR, able to see that airhead and does get it taken out here. So first shot, though, from the Puma, trying to punch him way above its weight class, trying to get a shot and get away. It's able to safely get around the backside of that hedge here. 76 left wondering where in the world did that point come from. Supplies drop back into the Weave Hill here for ZSR. 76 trying to figure out where in the world still that Puma tank retreated to, as the Puma tank comes around for another shot at it. Unfortunately, Tiger, the Puma's not going to be able to do too much to the side of that as 76 turns. He's going to need to back out of there. Ooh, some quick movement by Mr. Rocky on the drive here. Or no, by Shifu here on the backside for SVS. Ooh, did he expose his backside enough? No, 76 not able to get an angle here as Basti is eliminated here by the driver of the 76. So still getting some action for our drivers. Much the glory goes to the man manning that big old gun. But slowly but surely, those drivers still able to pack a punch as well. Cap pressure coming in now for ZSR, the northern portion. As it looks like they were able to get behind here, so Mayo was able to get behind and take out that garrison. So good work on Mayo to try to clear that up here. Try to gain control over that now. as only 2 bodies are left here fighting over for Beaumont Road here. Iro Frigid now the only man up here on the hard cap as a flare goes up. It's going to spot him. As Mr. Plausible and Pritch coming in to try and provide support here, as Frigid was able to defend his OP long enough to get another spawn wave off of it. Korea able to get back here for SVS and take him out. Sorry, he was taken out. Most likely Korea, though, was able to get that OP, so that will help out his teammates here on the defensive side as they work to try to get up and try to control back over this point. All right, so just nearing the halfway portion of this match here. Let's do a quick recap of kind of what's led us to this point. Moth able to take out VO. So initial cap going to SVS as they were able to get middle hard cap here over West Vierville by flooding a whole bunch of bodies into the northern portion of the shed here on the western side of the road. Right here. That was able to keep as much pressure up on that point as artillery and other explosives just continued to flood in for ZSR, who were unable to go ahead and get that tilted back into their favor. But eventually they were able to get that cleared out. ZSR was able to go ahead and get more and more bodies back into the mid cap and were able to strong arm SVS out of it. And since that point, ZSR has been on the offensive, trying to do everything they can to keep moving forward up into rear battery. And we're able to go ahead and capture that, and which leads us to kind of where we are now. Both teams have been able to get pressure onto their respective attacking points, but no team yet has been able to cap it, so leaving us still at a 4-1 here for ZSR, as SVS has a large amount of bodies here on the back side. So going with the strategy of trying to push as many bodies here into the eastern side and push back into rear battery. Have they been able to get that garrison out of the way here on the backside? No, it looks like it's still up in the wheat. So they're going to want to do what they can to clear that out, but the 76 here is back here repairing here, but they will want to get that garrison out so that they know not as many people for ZSR are going to be start flooding in from that eastern flank. So this game really is all about trying to not gain that additional map control. SVS was able to get some cap pressure into the point, but it is being eliminated as ZSR now is in cap. It has the dominant cap pressure here on the backside. Looks like teetering back in favor of SVS now. So we're back to that teeter-tottering effect. Both teams knowing that the respective team's point is just on the fringe of being able to get flipped. Garrison being locked out in the red zone here for SVS as they continue to just try to claw back into the match here. So North still being owned by ZSR. SVS able to control a little bit more of the southern side as Bear and Ara back here by themselves trying to do what they can to hold these areas. Garrison for SVS is up that Ara was able to come off of. Looks like Rosie Butt was able to come off OP. I do not see a garrison. Oh, there's the garrison right here for the Allies as this Puma tank is moving around, not noticing that it's there. Bombing run coming in though for looks like ZSR, as that is not on our map. Mr. Plausible trying to lead into the charge here as Copperfield leading and trying to get in on the eastern side. Flare getting sent up by Bruce, and he's going to expose those guys coming in from the northern portion here as cap pressure is contested here and starting to come in for ZSR. Garrison, though, for SVS is still up. ZSR was unable to get that from that bombing run, but more and more cap pressure coming into the point, so it is only a matter of time before the SVS garrison is really going to be put in danger here, as battle gunfights right now are very pivotal as Maverick and Pritch are coming off against each other. Maverick hiding in the bush here. Pritch trying to inch up as his friendly Artie is coming down onto that area, most likely marking where that garrison is here for SVS. Trying to do what he can to clear it out. Pritch moving on up. Pritch able to get Bruce, but he is taken out by that artillery shell. Or maybe by Bruce, because Maverick wasn't taken out. It could have been a swap here. Honestly, the worst kills that you can have in this game. Maverick able to emerge from his bush now that the garrison appears to be open. But ZSR now flooding bodies in from front door. Right now, ZSR no doubt trying to get as many people into the hard cap as possible as they are gaining that cap advantage here. Garrison's still safe, but OPs are starting to drop here as Nairo Frigid comes around the backside. Bumhead comes around the backside as well. There are a few more OPs down here on the southern side here, but Nairo might be able to get him wiped out here. And most likely back here on this wall as Spence is eliminated. Now, more and more people coming up from the southern side here for ZSR as the medium tank tries to hold down what they can. That allied, that Axis medium Qonzer 4, just the only armor it looks like in the area here, as it looks like the other tanks for ZSR are going to be floating around back here still. Let's take a look and see if we can locate those so we know how they're going to move up and impact the battle here. Ain't nothing on the backside here. Okay, so no other tanks I was noticing right off the bat here. They're flooding up into the point. So SVS might have the armor advantage here as... well, we'll keep an eye out because most likely we'll be looking to try to have a little bit more pressure here from the armor of the allies. Once we can kind of locate where they might be sitting. SVS starting to make progress here on the northern side as they've been able to regain it and get a garrison back up to the front, up to the north. So garrison network back for SVS has been established. Looking very good on where these garrisons are. It's going to really help them know exactly where they're coming from. But ZSR continuing to try to own that middle of the pack front door. But SVS doing very well to come back in. So SVS has been able to make some very good rebounds here in their game plan to regain that sector control. They have lost the southern garrison here, as Bear and his crew continue to come off this point. Batsy, Basty being eliminated by Rosebud. But Ara and his squad mate Spence is coming up on the backside as well. Off of their OP. Rosybutt able to take out Ara. Spence trying to fight off the road, trying to get shots wherever he can off the middle of the road. As we see cap pressure coming in for SVS on the back onto battery, so this is going to force a lot of ZSR back here to try to get what they can to just be able to defend it, because right now ZSR it looks to be a little low on manpower here in the northern portion. Chiza might have been able to come off the garrison. Nope, just an OP that we can see there. Chiza getting Lucho. Bori and Chiza going at it, playing Ring Around the Rosie again here as Chiza is able to take out Bori. So Chiza coming in clutch with some gunfights, and unfortunately he was eliminated. Unknown from where though, as the other SVS player could have been very well could have been Mayo shooting back in through there. So very good shots by Mayo. That could have been the only angle where he would have been. Badger, though, with his MG, able to get on the roof and has a nice little viewpoint here of everything that could be coming up from the southern side. These MGs, or as I like to call them, the mountain goats of Hell Let Loose, because they have a tendency of just getting into areas that you otherwise wouldn't expect. Able to find ways to get on roofs, whether it be through trucks, using OPs. But they are able to get back there and just cause havoc. As the Puma now, for SVS, back here just trying to mess up and do whatever they can here. Luck. Cheetah was taken out. Good work, eliminating that threat here. SVS now starting to continue to flood bodies into the northern portion. Maro SVS trying to do what he can to repair his tank back here. Just hitching a ride on the top side as this tank tries to move out of the danger. Cap pressure contested for SVS coming back into battery, but ZSR having enough bodies back there, so SVS not giving up yet. Just kind of laying down and taking it from ZSR. right, we have our 37-minute hydration break here. Just a reminder to all those watching, make sure you're drinking all your water. Stay hydrated. Never know when things might come up where your voice or other things may be needed. As Bum moves up onto this garrison and is looking to take it out here on Beaumont Road, so this could be a big push for ZSR if they're able to continue flooding bodies into the hard cap here. As now that middle hard cap sector is now defenseless as OPs are eliminated and garrisons are eliminated. Garrison back up by Viho. Bumhead looking to get around. Is he going to take Viho, able to get the garrison down and take out Bumhead? Pritch, no doubt hearing though, Bumhead had located another garrison here. Looking to try to get another one here. As a rocket coming in for Rosebud. Great rocket eliminating that. So garrison again down for SVS on hard cap. As Bear and his squad look like they are the only bodies up here on the point here for ZSR. Resources doing well for both. For Commander Jarko, as he's got plenty available for everything. Lots of manpower, so very well could start seeing another airhead here momentarily as he works to try to save up munitions here, probably for a bombing run as well. A bombing run actually is already coming into the play, so let's take a look and see what this does for SVS and see if they can get cap pressure back here onto the 4th point. As cap pressure moving in, Panzer IV pushing up in to try to support this push. SVS appears to be all in on this, and no doubt, I mean, by all means, they should be. They've got a great push coming in from the western side. Unknown if it got a garrison taken out for ZSR, so we'll go ahead and wait and see if that moves in. But Panzerfahrt's able to take out Lucio. Panzerfahrt's coming down into the cattle shed here. Go ahead and switch on our X-ray vision here to see where all of our enemy combatants are coming in as well. Sabori on the outside of the wall. Crew trying to get shots at him. Was able to take out one as Bori takes out the other. So SVS still maintaining some pressure here on the middle hard cap. We do have a garrison marked here for SVS, an enemy garrison marked here on this side of the wall. Let's take a look and see if that garrison mark is accurate. Not seeing a garrison back there. Definitely would see more and more people for ZSR coming off of it if they could. But SVS now gaining cap progress here, as it looks like no garrison is up on the point here for ZSR. And they're left alone with one OP here on the southern side from Major Fokker. Grandparents of the famous Fokkers from the movie Meet the Fokkers. For all those older cats out there in the crowd, might be able to remember that series, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fokkers. Grandpappy out here serving in the Allied military during World War II. The prequel movie we all didn't know we needed, but no less deserve. With a name like Major Fokker. Maybe Dead Otter, Major Nuts and Moth coming in off the backside garrison. Trying to do what they can as the push for SVS looks like it has been eliminated. As only OP up in the area is for E-Squad. Mayo and Flash coming in off of it though. As ZSR able to respond back again to that good push from SVS. So now the medium tank here for SVS going to have to back up a little bit if they don't want to risk getting destroyed. Gatlow, though, saving his Copperfield look to try to get more and more of a feel on the tanks. Is eliminated. So we got, do we have Major Copperfield and Corporal Copperfield? One brother went the route of being a major. Went the West Point route, other decided that he wanted to go and be in the trenches with the enlisted men. Both of them battling and dying here on the Omaha Beach side. Sergeant Panzerfahrt's coming up as well. Major Flocker leading the charge here, though, for his men. Let's take a look and see what pressure is now looking like as SVS has been able to get another garrison up here on Beaumont. being eliminated is Scrans is right on top of the garrison. Scrans moving on the garrison here. Bruce, is he going to be able to get him before he's taken out? No, Bruce not able to respond back and fast enough as Scrans with his... Oh, Scrans able to get the shotgun enough as... Unfortunately, the melee does not work. Maverick getting over the top here. Scrans able to get shots, but Maverick with the higher rate of fire able to take him out. Accuracy by volume here for Maverick. But Scrans having the last laugh as he did take out that garrison, but without a doubt, in no time, another garrison put back up for SVS. So SVS, Johnny on the spot here, trying to get as many of those garrisons up as possible. So good work to pre-stage those supplies so that they were ready to go as soon as that garrison went down. Gomez able to take out Bumhead, saving the secondary garrison here. All right, so now we are starting to see that ZSR is starting to push off of that pressure now. That they've been able to regain over battery, fully defended now, as looks like we have a medium Sherman here, captained by Major Goss. Trying to do what he can to hold off and push down that road for his infantry. Got another Stuart tank here for the Allies, so no 76, it appears, is currently on the field for ZSR. Bear able to get back here. Looks like Bear did something back here. Looks like supply truck. Bear unable to notice. No, that's his own garrison. What am I talking about? Don't listen to me. As the medium tank here has been able to push back up into point, as it looks like he was starting to get bombarded here by anti-tank compatible soldiers here on the northern side. But now that entire push from the north here for ZSR is coming through strong as they've been able to force out SVS. Plausible Bumhead trying to take on this Tiger tank. Do we have a satchel here on the Tiger tank? Not seeing sparks, but by the way the Bumhead's running, he's running away from it. Oh, he does have rockets though, looking to get the backside of this Lux. Bumhead getting a shot. Morrow is now going to be engine, not unable to move. Sitting dead in the water, needing help. And Bumhead able to ration his rockets here and take out the Lux here, as now this tank, this heavy tank here, this Tiger tank is left alive here. Commander Chaos trying to cause a little bit of chaos, but unfortunately he appears to just be escaping the chaos by himself. Little Stuart tank though. Are we going to get some Stuart shenanigans here? Oh, the Stuart though is outpacing the Tiger though. Fortunately, Tiger's going to hear him. Oh, Tiger misses the shot. Stuart, will he be able to get away? He is going to need to start diving, ducking, and dodging. Oh, unfortunately, though, does not make any maneuvers to try to get out of the way of that Tiger tank. His Tiger tank is able to take him out. Commander Chaos and crew able to eliminate him. 80 tank is still marked here for SVS. They are able to have this marked, so this Tiger tank hopefully should turn around and start trying to get whatever progress they can on getting him. Both points are flickering there for a moment. But SVS still holding strong, as that rocket sails well over the top of that garrison. SVS still not giving up the fight here. So this medium tank sits on the outside, and Batters just shots down into the point here on road. Thank you all very much for joining me today. I'm Night Falcon here as we round the last 30 minutes, final 30 minutes of this match between SVS and their enemy ZSR. ZSR able to take back the initial mid-cap from SVS, who were able to get up there, claim it initially after about 10 minutes or so of a cap fight. So very good opening cap fight. I would suggest you guys go back and watch that and see how that was done. But ZSR able to manhandle and kind of strong-arm their way back into the point, as that tank, that medium tank, is eliminated. I didn't see exactly what took it out, but it was big, it was firing. Unknown what took it out, but it sure looked like something was going off big that it was trying to shoot at. Test of time will be able to remind us how that enemy Sherman was eliminated. Could have been the Tiger tank, got an angle at him. Yeah, most likely it was that Tiger tank that was able to get an angle on him. So Chaos, again, getting 2 tank kills here. Rosebud, though, trying to get around this Tiger tank. Tiger tank seeing Rosebud as he's opening through the gap. Fires into him, but unable to clear him out. So Rosebud's going to be left alone here for just a moment as that Tiger tank continues to roll backwards. Rosebud clearing through the opening. Tiger tank becoming distracted, not willing to watch him. We appreciate you guys all joining here for the match today. I greatly appreciate any likes, any subscribes you're able to give. Goes to help us here at Falcon Studios as we continue to try to provide the best quality content of the TPL universe here in the Hell Let Loose competitive world, here on the console platforms. Jesus deciding to go run out in the middle of the open field here with Dead Otter. Chiza moving along just fine as he gets an angle on Gatlo. Misses one shot. It's dust from the arty shells kicked up, obscuring his view a little bit. Gatlo, though, taking advantage of the smoke, though, able to get out as Chiza shoots and misses on Gatlo for the first one, but takes him out with the second. Flash, firing his MP40, takes out Chiza. The Tiger tank here for SVS joining the charge here. Chaos up here, marking out Dead Otter. Dead Otter going with the strategy of not playing as a Dead Otter, falling down in the back side of the area, but he was eliminated by an arty shell that came in. SVS gaining control back over the northern portion. So any cap pressure that SVS has been able to start putting into the point here appears to have come from the north or from the south. SVS continuing to try to kind of feel out what ways they can use to get back up into the point, as ZSR looks to now be in full control over the southern portion of the point here. Clearing out everything by crossroads here and leading up into this. So ZSR unable at this point, up to this point, to be able to get both of these sectors in their control. So this is going to be a good launching off point here for ZSR as they continue to try to fight up into road here. But the north has been given up to SVS. But with the north being the only place SVS has into that point, it could end up being a little difficult here. So it's going to be key as this pressure comes in for SVS that they do not devote too many people back here on the defensive side here for ZSR. And so right now, no OPs up along this northern portion. Is the only squad lead is Morrow up there. Cap progress being contested here, starting to come into favor for ZSR. Sorry, SVS, but SVS not needing to try to devote too many people bodies back as they are leading on the battery charge here. Or not the battery, sorry, road. Beaumont Road. ZSR able to ride that frontal push here. They do have a garrison right on the front door here, so this is going to be big for ZSR as they now have been able to establish that front door garrison. SVS does not have any spawn point here on the northern, so here on Beaumont Road, so people need to be flooding into B and L squads to try to get as many bodies back in here as possible, as LOP variable could be lost here any moment as Qonzer comes in to this cap progress area here. Qonzer just trying to eliminate the ammo here as Vaiho is taken out by General Gunner. So we are now halfway capped here for ZSR on the final point, looking for that 5-0. Reinforce is down for SVS. We could very well be in the closing stages as all pressure onto battery has now been pushed back. Gatlo the only one up there on the northern portion here for SVS in the hard cap there on battery, but road pressure now nearing 3/4 of the way cap as we get a giant garrison spawn wave here for Baron, Mr. Plausible and his crews off that front door garrison, now nearing 2/3 of the way cap. We have a desperation bombing run coming in for Commander Jericho here. Jarko, I apologize, I pronounced that wrong every single time I've said it today here though, for you, Commander Jericho. Covering all bases here as ZSR still is in very hard control even after the bombing run. So unfortunately, Bombing Run not able to stem the tide here for ZSR, as it looks like ZSR is going to move up into that 5-0 cap pressure and get that final cap here. So we have a 5-0 going to ZSR here. Good work from both teams. SVS not giving it up here as we go through the course of our match. However, I'm going to go look at trying to give our player of the match here too. Let's take a look and see if we can see. Give it to Commander Morrow here, because him and his crews were very much, or not Commander, but Officer Morrow here. Him and his crews were very, very impactful in trying to gain any type of push or advantage. If there were needing to be OPs put up, OPs were set up. So good work from SVS though to hold out as long as they had, because they got pushed back to that point relatively quickly. And unfortunately, we didn't know how long they'd be able to hold out, but they held out as long as they could. But ZSR was just a little too much to handle here, as they are able to take the 5-0 victory. So total kills for ZSR looks like 673 to SVS's 559. So we can see as ZSR was starting to gain their pressure, that disparity between those kills slowly kind of grew. So here, 27 seconds, we'll be able to switch over and take a look at the full stats here in our final breakdown. But overall, it was a very fun match to be able to cast here. Both teams gave it a good old fight, but ZSR able to come out on top. It's going to improve to 2-1 now, as SVS unfortunately is going to drop to 3-0 or 0-3. So that map is now over. Let's go ahead. We're going to switch over to our desktop stream here. Open up our stats here. I'll refresh our page here. Game history. Oh no. This happened for a 20-second match as well. I hope it's not the same thing for them. The stats may have been broken off a little bit here. Okay, we're going to pivot here and try to do something else. So we're going to go ahead and go back into our OBS. Let's switch into our gameplay scene here. And we are going to pull up our stats here. Let's see if we can find them in this way. So we got multiple things at our disposal here. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like stats not going to be available for this one. Let's go ahead and take a look. The axis table here. So we can see a little bit on the axis side here. So it looks like top killer for SVS is going to be Odin with 64 kills. He was our arty man. Mayo, who we also had called out and gave our accommodation to, with 46 kills. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a look and see what the Allies side looks like now. So Bumhead leading it out with the M1 Grand, beating out his artilleryman by 4 kills. Bumman and Rosebud, both people that we called out as well. So it looks like for both sides, Arty was very effective, as the Arty killers are in the top 1 or 2 members of their squads, respective squads. So it gives us a little bit of a look over what everything looked like there. Unfortunately, we don't have our full stats there for the matchup, unfortunately, so we cannot review those. But we do know that both teams played. Okay, wait, I think I may have gotten it here. No, St. Marie du Montigny. Nope, that is not one we want. Unfortunately, stats do not look like they're going to be available for us on this server. So invite everybody to go out, take a look at those, see if they are able to come up late at a later time. But unfortunately, we are not going to be able to review them here in our match cast today. But we appreciate you guys joining in. It's always fun to have you guys with us. Again, I was Night Falcon, your host today for this Division 9 matchup between SVS and ZSR. If you could give a quick like, quick subscribe to the stream, I very much appreciate it. It allows me to continue bringing this TPL coverage to you guys and on into the future. But with that, appreciate you guys joining us on this Sunday evening and afternoon, and wish you all a wonderful rest of your day or night. Thanks for tuning in.